This is your brother Radal. Before I get this lesson started, I want to give double honors. I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem Rakakadash, and I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, of whom I learned this truth from. This is your brother Radal, and a shalom to all the other brothers that take this truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the hopefully elected to the supper, the wedding feast of the Lamb, Yahweh Shai. This is just, I just saw this video. I haven't watched the whole thing, and I was like, you know what? Let's go into it, man. I want to let you see these Americans, these Babylonians, predominantly Edomites, with some Jake sprinkled in there, and just notice how all of them are complaining. They're all talking about the economy. They're all talking about how life used to be. And notice that for the most part, it doesn't appear that any of them are, how can I communicate this? I'm not calling these people innocent, and I'm not saying that they're righteous, but for the most part, their complaints are complaints about simple things of life: food, being able to pay your bills, nothing too extraordinary, right? They're not extremely violent criminal people, or, you know, they're not like extra evil as far as how normal people view life and gauge, you know, criminality and evil stuff on the scales. These people appear to be pretty decent, safe type of folks on a human social judgment scale. That's what I'm trying to say. But if you notice too, not one of them has any understanding of the Most High, His prophecies, His precepts, His scriptures, what's going to happen. And as a result, basically everything they're saying is darkness. And I'm going to pull that precept up. But I want you to hear some of the stuff that they're saying, and then we're going to pull the prophecies, because we are at the beginning stages of Jacob's trouble, which is also the beginning stages of the complete destruction of Edom. It is the end of this young woman that you see on the screen is more than likely an Edomite. The majority of the people that are in here, most likely they are Edomites, and they are at the beginning stages of the end of everything they've enjoyed on earth. Specifically, their people are going to receive the balance of judgment that has been prophesied to them from the beginning. And we're going to pull those precepts. And these people are absolutely clueless. They are at 100% clueless as to what is about to happen to them. So I'll let this video play, and we'll get the precepts.
That crazy? That is a totally valid thing. Everybody needs some type of self-care in their life, and you just have to budget, and me and my husband do that. Where I'm frustrated is I just don't feel like we're going to have 20% down on a house ever, like a house that we would want. Because 20% down on a house, even in a 300, 400K, which is very cheap if you find one in Utah for like enough bedrooms if you want to start a family, like the down payment's like $90,000.
So 9% of the time, if she's in Utah and she looks like this, she is a Mormon. And with that said, I'm gonna let the video play. But if you notice, there's not one person in here mentioning anything about repentance, about judgment. They are all thinking, waiting, hoping for the economy to change so they can get back to their life of what they were doing before everything started during COVID.
For 20% down. Or if you don't want to pay that, then you have to pay like $4,000 a month before utilities. Like, it's insane. So, I don't know. Just be kind.
Okay, I just got home from work. I live in Ontario, okay? I own barbershops, 4 in Ontario, 1 in Victoria, BC. Something happened to me today, and it kind of shook me. It shook me really good, okay? I was cutting someone's hair in one of my Ontario locations, and this is a client I've been cutting for a long time, and halfway through the service, he just starts crying. And I'm like, what's up, dude? I'm like, are you all right? And he's like, man, I don't even know if I can afford to pay for this haircut. He was looking at his banking. His credit card was maxed. He thought he had it in his budget. He's like, dude, I can't afford to get groceries. I can't afford my mortgage right now. I can't afford to put my kids in stuff. He's like, and now I don't know if I can afford to pay for this haircut. And I was like, don't worry, I got you. And, you know, I realized at that point, this is a grown-ass man who's got a good job. His wife's got a good job. He's got 2 kids at home, and this guy can't pay the bills. You know what I'm saying? And I thought to myself, I'm like, man, you know, I'm obviously going to cover the haircut for him, which I did. I comped him. But I thought, man, there's a lot of people going through this, and everyone puts on this poker face to pretend that shit's okay, when really it's not. Everyone out there is struggling, okay? It's very, very difficult to live here in Ontario and in Canada. It is expensive, you know? So I think everyone could be a little bit kinder to everybody, myself included, because I think, again, everyone puts on this poker face to try to say things are good, but it's expensive and it's hard out there. So just be mindful who you're talking to and what you're talking about, because you don't know what people might be going through, especially in these times of high inflation. So that just goes to show you're not alone out there. So good luck, everybody.
Gen Z is going to history books for its economic downturn because right now the girls are scrambling. In the last 50 years, during any type of recession or just economic downturn overall, you would see a trend in people's buying patterns. Normally during those times, people stop spending on the big luxuries, which would be considered vacations or any sort of luxury-like purchases, such as higher quality clothing, items, anything like that. And instead, people tend to buy smaller items, like a little lip gloss here and there, or a perfume, or even like a coffee to treat themselves, every now and again, even though they may not have the disposable income. But over the last year, the economy has not been following these patterns, and instead, people are still buying vacations. They're like, listen, I could die tomorrow, but I'm still going to book the flight. And instead of buying the smaller, cheaper items, they're investing their money in quality items that'll last them longer. And by the time the economic downturn, is over, they still have their stuff and they can still use it. And also, people are no longer buying whatever celebrities sell them online. And they're going to their favorite influencer girly because she's been putting in more for the last 2 or 3 years. And it's even more interesting to see how these companies are scrambling because people are still using all of their PTO. I love to see it. If you're going on a trip, let me know where you're going in the comments.
See, Eve is absolutely clueless as to what's happening. Completely clueless.
It's bad. I'm a lawyer. I'm way more educated than my father. I make more than he made when he retired. Okay, let that sink in. I make more than what he made when he retired. He had a 401k. He got a golden handshake. He will probably die a millionaire. I can't afford to move out of the basement. Let that sink in. I can't afford to move out of the basement, even though I'm making probably double what he made when he retired in 2018. Make it make sense.
I feel like we've been duped because I don't remember signing up for any.
So this one is the one Edomite that starts blaming God for everything, but we know that they don't understand who the Most High is.
Of this shit. I'm literally busting my ass every day for food, water, clothing, and shelter to exist on a planet that I didn't ask to be here. I didn't choose to be born. And who decided that this was the way that things had to be? Because from my understanding, that whole barter system was going pretty well until somebody decided, you know what? That's not working out. We're going to make them pay for the privilege of living. And while we're thinking ahead, let's make them pay for the privilege of dying. If you ever want to understand why I don't believe in God, this is it right here. Because I can't believe that an omniscient being is looking down on all of this that he's created, allegedly, and says, you know what? Yep, working out just fine. Let's see how this thing plays out. Bullshit. I call bullshit. Because this isn't the way that life should be. I'm sorry. It's just fucking not.
It's time to vent with Tay, so buckle up because I'm freaking frustrated. Why am I frustrated? I'm frustrated because in today's world, being the default parent pretty much means like you are the only parent. And with that being said, being a working single mother with 2 children is so conflicting because my children come first always. Always. But in order to support my children, I need that job. But what's hard is when they're in daycare and the daycare's closed for holidays, for instance, next week is the 4th of July, so they're closed on the 4th and the 5th. Well, I'm a cart girl at a golf course, and holidays are very big here, so I need to be here. So what do? Even though I know the answer always, I ask the other parent, hey, could you help me with one of these days so I don't have to take both days off? For many reasons. 1, I don't want to lose my job. 2, I need the money. And 3, it would be nice if you could do that. Immediately, the answer was no. So it's just frustrating.
want to stop it right there. You see, basically, it's just an endless amount of people speaking about what's happening with no answer or no understanding of what the precepts and prophecy says. I pulled up a few precepts as I was listening to this. And let me pull these right now. Let me see which ones where I was at. Okay. So this is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verses 3 and 4. This is King Solomon, and he's in his prophetic mode, right? He's operating as a prophet. He's speaking into the future, or speaking what is being revealed to him and recording it. So this is verse 3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow down themselves. And I believe, if I'm correct, the keepers of the house goes into your elites. I believe it goes into your governments. It goes into, like on the left. So because the keeper of a house, if we look it up in the blue letter, I believe it's like a watchman. But we know that we are currently in captivity, right? And we're watching, but we're watching for the destruction. So on the left-hand side, it would mean like the elite. But I could be wrong. But if I'm not, I think that's what it is. So look at the definitions: to keep guard, observe, give heed, to keep, have charge of. So that sounds like authority or rulership or some type of a head. To keep guard, to keep watch, and to ward, to protect, to save life. Watchman. To watch for, wait for, to watch, observe, to keep, retain, treasure up, to keep within bounds, to restrain, to observe, celebrate Sabbath or covenant. So, of course, in everything redeemed, and if we were back in our rulership, this would be speaking about us on the right-hand side, but I believe this precept is going into times today, and who's in power? Esau is in power. So it's basically talking about Esau's rulership. I could be wrong, but I think that's where that's going. And the grinders cease. Now this goes into all of your labor, all of your production, everything, the food, work, the economy, everything. And the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the window be darkened. Verse 4. And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all of the daughters of music shall be brought low. So that's I believe this goes into the celebrating. If you think about America before COVID, Hollywood music, and how, if you look at how Israel, Yasharallah, is set up under King David, the tabernacle of Dawidah, King Dawid, Malach Dawidah, he had his singers, right? He had instruments, he had psalmists, and they were all prophets, and they worshiped. So, and it was ongoing praises before the Most High daily, right? At the order of King David, and they would sing. Well, what's singing and playing instruments? Not only is it worship, and not only is it prophetic, it's a type of, for a lack of better words, it's a type of entertainment. But what King David was doing, and the other Israelite men that were in that order, it's not like, how can I say, it's not like entertaining like Hollywood, but there's a pleasure when you can see or listen to few, 5, 10, 20 men, and they're playing, literally playing music, and they're literally singing, and they're singing prophetic praises to the Most High. To stand in front of that and to listen, to be a part of that, to be offering up incense, to be listening and to be a part of that. Maybe as one group of men they've been playing for hours, then they step off and another group comes on and plays. Just like we do at camp, there is a pleasure in the presence of that, right? Well, now if you look at on the left-hand side, Hollywood, the media, hip-hop, rock and roll, country, all of it is controlled by who? Amalek. And Amalek is the left-handed priest. He's the left-handed counterpart of Satan on the left-hand side. And so they copycat everything, they mimic everything on the right-hand side, but it's just inverted. So when it says the music shall be brought low, I believe this is going into Hollywood and the media and the music, and them being cut off. They are being cut off from the left-hand side of information, where there's no longer this overwhelming overflow of new music coming out and new movies coming out, because we're about to step into Jacob's trouble. We're about to step into the destruction of Esau, Edom. He is at his end. He is no longer, his bounds have been set, like it says in Job, right? Look at this precept right here. Let me go into this. And this one right here. So this is Second Ezra, right? You got Second Ezra chapter 6. This is a very ancient. This is Uriel, one of the archangels, speaking to the prophet Ezra. And we know, we've been learning that the four angels mentioned in recorded in scripture are Michael, Allah, Gabriel, Uriel, and Raphael. And we know that Raphael mentioned that there are 7 angels who stand before the Most High, offering up the prayers of the saints, and they go in and out, and they carry out the Most High's business. We know that there's more right-handed Elohim, but we know that these 7 and these 4 are recorded, right? And we understand that they are the body of hosts on the right-hand side that is called the Holy Spirit. So if you look at this chapter 6 right here, 2nd Ezra chapter 6, the first 6 verses are Uriel speaking to Ezra. So basically, this is the Holy Spirit giving this instruction, this revelation, revealing this secret to the servant, the prophet, who happens to be Ezra's. Look what it says. And he said unto me, in the beginning, when the earth was made, before the borders of the world stood, or ever the winds blew, before it thundered and lightened, or ever the foundations of paradise were laid, before the fair flowers were seen, or ever the movable powers were established, before the innumerable multitude of angels were gathered together, or ever the heights of the air were lifted up, before the measures of the firmament were named, or ever the chimneys in Zion were hot, or ere the present years were sought out, or ever the inventions of them that now sin were turned, before they were sealed, that have gathered faith for a treasure, then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through none other, semicolon, by me also they shall be ended, and by none other. That is huge. Verse 7 is Ezra's answering out loud. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? What is that even talking about? Verse 8 explains it. But he's talking about the firstborn. He's talking about Esau and Jacob. And when will this struggle, when will this period of time where they are in power and we are on the bottom come to an end? And this is the answer from Uriel, the holy angel. And he said unto me, from Abraham and Isaac. So now he's mentioning the generations of the chosen seed line, from Abraham and Isaac, when Jacob and Esau, so Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but Esau's mentioned, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. That's recorded in Genesis. For Esau is the end of the world. Esau was rejected. Esau was hated. Jacob was chosen. Jacob is loved. For I have hated Esau and loved Jacob. That's in the scriptures. For Jacob have I loved and Esau have I hated. Okay. Verse 9, for Esau is the end of the world. So this is the qualifying answer to the question in number 7. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Verse 10, the hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand of the questions Ezra's asked thou not. Pretty intense, huh? Look what it says in Isaiah 46, verse 9. Remember the former things of old. Why? Because these are the former things of old, right here. This is a very ancient recording. These six verses right here, that is a very, very old statement. It's recorded during Ezra's time, but those 6 verses are, man, The Spirit is mentioning things from way, way back in the beginning of time, before the earth was even created. You can tell because it's mentioning before the fair flowers were seen, or ever the movable powers were established, before the innumerable multitude of angels were gathered. That's an ancient statement. That is a very ancient statement. So right here, we see a declaration in prophecy. We see counsel, we see order, we see a request, we see direction and instruction. Isaiah 46:9. Remember the former things of old. For I am the Most High, and there is no one else. I am the Most High, and there is none like me. Go one more over. Verse 10. Verse 10. Declaring the end from the beginning. Where's the beginning? Well, this is some of it right here. This is not all of it, but this is a good glimpse into it. All this mentioned in verses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is a huge glimpse into the beginning. It's a long, long time ago, and it's from that place that the Most High says he declares the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Well, what's his pleasure? What's his counsel? Right here. Look at verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So a nation, a race of people have to come to an end, have to go down in order for another race of people to have a beginning in their rulership. They are connected together. This is how the Most High wrote the story. Let me see if I can find in Daniel. Let me see. Where is it? Let's see in Daniel. He raises up one and puts down another. You guys know the precept. He raises up one and puts down. Puts down another. I don't think I'm saying it right, but hopefully it. Well, there's one in Psalms. I was looking for more for Daniel, but let's see what the Psalm is saying. But God is the judge. He putteth down one and set up another. Good. I'm looking more for Daniel. Let me see if I can say if it will. Daniel. Let me see. There it is. Bam. That's what I was looking for. Okay, so look, Daniel chapter 2, verse 21. And he changes the times and seasons. He removeth kings and setteth up kings. So, okay, just before we go any further, how do you remove a king without a fight? How do you remove a king without a fight? Or do you remove a king with a fight? Think about this, because if he's a king, he's probably there for a reason. He's displayed some type of ability, wisdom, some kind of power, right? And at the same time, too, the Most High put him there, right? And somehow, through the mechanisms and the movements of mankind and kingdoms in the earth, the Most High sovereignty placed this man, who is a member of a nation of people, in a position of power in the earth, right? Well, the Most High also takes down those men and puts up another man that's a member of another nation of people in the earth. See, this is the confusing thing about America, is Esau has done a really good job at having a whole bunch of different nations come to America and become American citizens, so that then there's this confusing conglomeration and mixed multitude of a bunch of people calling themselves Americans on a landmass, but yet all of them are different nations. As long as he's on top, talking about the so-called white man, everything's fine. As long as his policy is accepted, everything's fine. And so you see this revolving door of Democrat, Republican, and 99.9% of the time, it's just another white man. Well, right now, supposedly Kamala Harris, or whatever she's claiming to be, and then Barack Obama being a Hamite when they passed him off as black, but it's still Esau that's in power. So it's created this confused conception of what rulership is, When people read this, they, he brings a king down, he brings up another one. People will read this and think, oh, so that means that Joe Biden, an Edomite, goes down, but then Donald Trump gets to come up, another Edomite. No, that's not what this is talking about, because that's not how things were ran when this was written. The Most High is talking about this. He's talking about this kind of a king being raised up and raised down. He's talking about verse 9. 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 9. For Esau is a king. He's a king right now. Is the end of his world. The end of his age has come. And Jacob is also a king. Right? He's a ruler, right? And is the beginning of it that followeth. That's a complete different type of rulership. These are two different people. These two guys, Esau and Jacob, were separated at birth. They're completely two different people. That's explained in Genesis. Right? This is what people need to understand. This is what is happening. This is what prophecy says is happening. And this is not what anybody here is saying about all the pains, the birth pains that they are witnessing. They're just talking out of their ass. Look.
We just found out that our gym does a food drive twice a week, every week. And you as a family can pick up food once a week. And we just got a bunch of stuff that probably saved us like $80 a week. As a family of 6, we spend a lot of money on groceries, and it's usually all in credit, which sucks, but like we have to feed,
I'm telling you right now, it's coming. So look at her. She's clean, right? She's had a bath. She's had a shower. She's inside of her house. She's got clothing on. She's talking about hard times, but they're still living. Times are coming around the corner, man, where people are not even going to be able to make videos. And if they did make a video, there's going to be like a fire in the background. They're going to be dirty because they haven't taken a shower in 2 weeks. They're going to be crying because there's going to be a dead body in the background. We're approaching those times. And these people are completely clueless. They're thinking that everything's going to be okay, and it's not.
And our kids. But let me show you what I got, because I think this week we're probably only going to spend like $50 max. Probably not even that. Maybe $20, $30. Well, this canned stuff, peanut butter, jelly, this whole tray of watermelon, mac and cheese, some macaroni, pancake mix, a whole gallon of milk, and then some randoms like a toothbrush, there's toothpaste somewhere, some wipes, sanitary pads, paper towel, a bar of soap, or here's the toothpaste, kids' toothpaste, and then like a crap ton of, we got buns, got bacon, this is bacon, they gave us chicken, ground beef, sorry, that might be ground pork, chicken, this sausage link thingy, and then those two ground beefs, and it's like that is gonna save us so much money, and I feel like we're so embarrassed to get help or take the help.
See, and that also goes into the pride of Esau, which is the vibration that everybody else is under, and it also gives you a peek, you guys, at how wealthy Babylon actually is and was. Because we've been on a down, they've really been working to destroy this place since 2019. Like, I mean, it started back in other ways, but like really, really, really started and there's still places you can go and get food. It's all going to run out, of course, but that just gives you an idea of just how overwhelmingly wealthy this nation was, man, because of what Esau was able to accomplish in the earth with with his sword, man. It's crazy.
I don't even know how to word it, that it makes sense, but I feel like we're kind of embarrassed to take help and get help when we can, but this is honestly going to help us. Like, I don't think we're going to spend anything more than $20, $30 this week on maybe snacks for the kids, and cereals, breakfast stuff, but other than that, I feel like we're good for at least a week or two with what we got from them. Sorry, I recorded all that a little bit earlier, a couple hours ago, and now I'm making dinner. I'm gonna make spaghetti with, I have about 2/3 of this left over from the last time I cooked it, and this came from I don't even know what to call it, a food drive, a food bank. just hope for the best. I did get a box of spaghetti from there too. I don't know where it is right now. I gotta find it. It might have fallen out of the bag, but that's like a meal. Usually spaghetti lasts us at least 2 days, if not 3 days. But like that's just amazing that I got, that stuff for free. And I'm gonna continue going, and I'm not gonna feel ashamed because like times are tough. Like I don't know how people are surviving.
And this is going to lead to us going into, not us, but them going into getting the mark. Everybody's going to just go get the mark. So this is what this is leading into. So remember the former things of old, for I am the Most High, and there is none else. I am the Most High, and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times, the things that are not yet to come, not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Okay, and so what's going to happen? Babylon's going to come down and sit in the dust. O virgin daughter of Babylon, sit in the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. That's Isaiah 47:1. Verse 2, take the millstone and grind meal, uncover the locks, make bare the legs, uncover the thighs, pass over the rivers. And this is verse 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, and that's what we are seeing now. Nakedness goes into transgression and sin. Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai is making inquisition on Esau and the 2/3. The 2/3 are our people, the Israelites, who are stuck in this system. They're refusing to repent. They're completely blind. They think they're Americans or African Americans or black, Latino, Mexican, Native American. They think they're a part of this system, and they're following Esau and everything that Esau has said, and Esau is about to be destroyed. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. That's talking about Yahushua when he comes back on the chariot, also known as the UFO, the size of a mountain. 2 Ezra 11:37, and I beheld, and lo, as it were, a roaring lion. This is also going into Yahushua, what he's going to do, chased out of the wood. Hold on, before I want to find that precept. Before I say that, I want to see this. Yes. So this is what I was saying. This is Isaiah 8:20. How everyone is speaking in this video, how they are clueless as to what is happening. They know things are not right, but all they can speak on is it's the economy, which means another or different president needs to come in and change things for them. And so they are basically doing what? They're putting their trust in Egypt. So look at this. Isaiah 8:20, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, to this information, to this understanding that America would get to this place. Because America is not America. America is Mystery Babylon. America is in prophecy. And the so-called white man is Esau, Edom. And the so-called black man, Latino man, Native American man is so-called is Jacob. You have to understand what this word means. It's having the understanding of what is written in Scripture. And if you don't have this understanding, it is because there is no light in them. Wisdom of Solomon, and what is wisdom? For she is more beautiful than the sun, and above all, what is light? Light is wisdom, for she is more beautiful than the sun, and above all the order of stars, being compared with the light, she is found before it. Wisdom of Solomon 7:30, for after this cometh night, but vice shall not prevail against wisdom. And so it also goes into the stability, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time. Wisdom and knowledge of what? Of this word. What's written in this word? All of the scripts. Life is one huge movie. The earth is a stage. The Most High is the director and the producer. His Son is the director and the producer and the Redeemer. His angels on the left and right hand side, they're also the staff. They move in throughout the movies, and we are characters in the movie, and the two main characters are Esau and Jacob. And you have to know what's going on. And if you don't know what's going on, you're going to put your trust, like it says in Isaiah 36:6. Lo, thou trustest in the staff of the broken. Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereupon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. So right there, all these people are trusting in America, in the system of the West, to make things right for them so they can go back to living their lives. And that's gonna be when the digital all comes in, the MOTB, and they're gonna take it, man. So I want to end this lesson. I hope it was edifying. I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, and double honors to the elders and apostles, the great millstone of whom I learned from, and a shalom to the other brothers who take this truth to the four corners of the earth. This is your brother Radah. Shalom.